Hey everybody, this is Big Daddy, Big Daddy's Daily Devo. It is Wednesday, July the 2nd, and it's hot outside in Oklahoma anyway. I appreciate all of you that come and watch these devotions, and so many of y'all come from all over the world, and it just thrills my heart. Anyway, today I want to talk about betrayal, and how it affects our life. I have lots of clients, lots of people that I talk to, that I minister to, who have been betrayed by people in their lives, and there's lots of bitterness and lots of hurt feelings. When someone close to us betrays us, for many of us, it's very hard to get over. And we can go years and years harboring bitterness and anger and resentment to people because they hurt us so bad. And it reminded me of a story in the Bible, in the Old Testament, this guy named Joseph, and Joseph knew what it meant to be betrayed by friends and loved ones. Over the period of about 12 years, from the time he was 17 to the time he was 29, he was betrayed by friends and family members. A lot of you might remember the Bible story where Joseph's brothers sold him into slavery. And so there we see an example of family betraying someone. And Joseph would have plenty of reason to be upset with his family and to be bitter and angry. And then we see that when Joseph got to Egypt, he was sold to one of the king's helper, a guy named Potiphar, and Potiphar's wife betrayed Joseph and caused Joseph to have to go to prison. And you can read about it in Genesis 39. I'm just giving the short version right now, but we see that somebody that was close to him betrayed him. And then he goes to prison for 10 years. And there was one of the Pharaoh's servants was thrown into jail because the Pharaoh was upset with him. And while he was in prison, Joseph helped him. And because Joseph helped him, Joseph, I'm sure, was like, maybe this servant of the king will go out and say some good things about me. But the servant of the king got out of prison, went back to serve the king, and did not remember Joseph, didn't tell him anything for another 2 years. And so there's many times over a 12-year period of time that Joseph could have been bitter. One of the things that happened during those 12 years is we see that Joseph learned how to be a servant. He learned how to serve people. Back when Joseph was 17 and he was still at home, he had these big dreams. He literally had dreams, and he would tell his brother and he would tell his father. And those dreams, as a young 17-year-old, he told his brothers, and he probably shouldn't have told them, because one of the dreams was that his brothers were going to someday bow down in front of him. And another dream was that his mom and dad and his brothers were going to bow down and serve him. And so he's immature, he's young, and he's kind of bragging, and his brothers end up hating him, and they sell him off to slavery. But for the next 12 years, it's not his brothers and his mom and dad that are bowing down and serving him. It's Joseph, for 12 years, is serving. He ended up serving in the prison. Before that, when he was in Potiphar's house, he was serving the Pharaoh's assistant, Potiphar. He served the king's servant. He served over and over for 12 years. And I think that we need to remember that there are going to be lots of times in our life when the Lord needs to teach us a lesson, and it's on His terms and on His timing. And the other thing is that Joseph had so many opportunities to say, God, I'm mad at you. Joseph had so many opportunities to be bitter towards his brothers, towards his family, towards Potiphar's wife for telling lies, towards the king's servant for ignoring or rejecting him, betraying him. He had so many reasons to throw a pity party and say, "What about me?" He had so many opportunities and so many reasons why to say to God, "God, why haven't you paid attention to me? Why haven't you rescued me?" No, but instead, Joseph didn't do that. He never became angry because of people betraying him. Instead, this is what we need to learn. That we may be betrayed by people, but what we got to do is not be bitter about it, but instead serve people. Continue to serve and do ministry and love on people. And that's what Joseph did when he was in prison for 12 years, is he just served people. And so I want to remind you, because I know there's lots of people out there that have been hurt. They've been hurt bad. They've been betrayed by family members. They've been betrayed by loved ones. They've been betrayed by friends. And the bitterness and the anger and the disgust and the disdain that we harbor, that we hold on to, does nothing but harm ourselves. It doesn't harm the person that we're angry with. It just harms ourselves. And so let go of that bitterness, get rid of those resentments, and learn how to serve, because that's what God wants us to do. God bless. I'll see y'all next time.